Hello. Hi, everyone. Hope I'm coming through okay. Let me know if you can see and hear me. It is time to play Hallertau for the first time in maybe about 5 years. I've probably played it off camera since then, although probably not for a few years still. But yeah, the last playthrough was, I think, January 2021, a few months after it came out, and I'm surprised that not only had it been that long, but we were still in the handheld camera shaky cam days back then, which I do miss in some ways, but in other ways, things are a lot clearer. Marty, my cat, has just been for a quick run across the table and kicked a load of things out of the way. So if anything is a little bit out of place, let me know. But I think we are pretty much good to go. So this is Uwe Rosenberg's design from 2020. And I'm trying to think, like, there was Black Forest. Is this the new? Is this the newest like big box original design by Uwe Rosenberg? Because he's kind of got like splits of things, hasn't he? He's got co-designs with people, and sometimes I think like Black Forest is maybe just taking the Glass Road thing and it's designed by someone else, and he's still credited. Probably had stuff to do with it, but wasn't like the major designer of it. He's got his whole line of polyomino style games, ranging from Patchwork being the simplest to what if he's thrown in with lumping with these ones, but the Nova Lunas and things like that. You look just on the highlights of Board Game Geek or any bigger canal actually. Even though it's like a two-player max game, you'd include that as well. Oh, and Atua. I didn't really get on with Atua very much. And I enjoyed Oranian Burger Canal. It's a beautiful puzzle. But yeah, we'll call it the last one that I fell in love with, at least. So in this game, we are going to be farming. We're going to be planting crops and stuff. We are going to be hopefully looking after some sheep, getting some milk from them, and we are going to be donating resources to the local community and watching this village grow. We've got 6 rounds to do it all in. And we'll be placing workers in those rounds. This is the main worker placement board. You can place in the lowest space, and it's basically the cost of your worker. You'll get 6 workers each at the start of the game, more as you advance this community center along. I'll show you just the community center. When you remove this, it slides along, and basically you'll get more and more workers every round, up to the point that you start getting points instead of new workers, up to 70 points. And from what I remember about the game, like it's like kind of randomness of cards and things. Well, some people like it divided some people. Things often do, but yeah, randomness of cards and stuff, and like never really found that the cards are the beautiful tapestry that you make your game out of. But like it's just being like kind of like too hard, or like that it was just the same every time that you needed to get your community center across. And I remember one of my big things at the time was that the community center is just an incidental thing that you need to do. Like it's not going to be like the basis of your points. Your points are what you can do beyond that. You'll get a load of points for it, but you should consider that a basic thing that you should be able to do across the course of the game. All these years later, will I still be able to do that? Hope so. We'll see. So yeah, there's a worker placement over here, but there are also cards. There is a gateway deck, and there is a farmyard deck. There are 4 different decks of each type, and you'll randomly, or well, you can choose if you want, you'll have one of each in the game. So we're playing with the expert gateway deck, which is so there is a master deck that's a bit harder, and we are playing with the field deck here. So a lot of the cards are going to concern fields. I have got, prepare for me to get the names of resources wrong. This is barley, this is flax. I think this is rye. I'll end up calling it wheat inevitably. But yeah, we got one of each of these. Resources are tracked over here. It's also tracking the levels of our fields. We have 1 in 2, 3, and 4. If you plant stuff in those fields, that's how many of that resource you'll get when you harvest them. We've got a little box here for jewelry. That's like a wild card for moving things in the community center. It's really helpful. We don't have any right now. we have cards tracking our rounds, and we do have in our hands 4 gateway cards just drawn from the deck, and a points card. So here is a way for us to get points throughout the game. When you see the cards, anytime you see this book here, they are like a requirement. You need to have something, and you can play the card once you qualify for it. You don't need to spend any of it. But a big thing in this game is you can play cards at any time. You need to finish resolving one thing before you do another, but at any point in the game, unless you're told somewhere that it needs to happen in a particular phase, generally you can do things at any time in this game, playing the cards. So as soon as you qualify for this, you can choose to play the card, and you get the reward down here. Might let you draw more cards, might get you, the bonus cards can get you income each round. The points cards is an example of this arrow here means you need to spend this thing to get this thing, which in our case on the points cards is always points. You get some points left over at the end for field goods and tools, which we need to move these bolts around. And that's that, really. That's the game in a nutshell. So in a round, we have these 10 steps, but loads of them are just dead quick. So we need to, first of all, remove the top row of workers from all action spaces. At 1 to 3 players, we have these quadrant cards. So we draw one of these quadrant cards, as I did at the start of the game, and it told me 1 quadrant to leave empty. I don't think we don't skip this in round 1, do we? Like in the setup, it told me, yeah, do all of that stuff. And then skip phase 1 of round 1, yeah. Glad I checked. So we're going to do that in the future, but we've effectively done it in setup. Like 1 row of workers is going to get removed from 1 quadrant each round. I'll show you the quadrant card we drew in setup. So based on in a 4-player game, you would remove the top row of workers from every action space. In a 3-player game, it would be 3 of the 4 quadrants, and then fewer and fewer until we get to just 1 quadrant getting cleared each round. So in the solo game, there is a target score to beat, essentially, but there is no there's no bot to play against. You aren't placing, like, different coloured workers each round, like, say, Feast for Odin. You are just competing against yourself for all of that stuff, but the fact that the quadrants aren't going to get cleared out means that the action spaces are still going to fill up, and you'll have to deal with that, whereas, as you can see in higher player counts, they would be getting cleared out more often. So we don't have to clear them out anymore. Hey James, how's it going? Then in phase 2, move the current farmyard card off the stable board. There it is. There is 1 for each of the rounds of the game. Remove any sheep from it. Any sheep that are on the card at the time, unfortunately, pass away. And place workers on it according to the number in the window on our community centre, which is 6. So I'll grab 6 workers. The workers are just these cubes here. Yeah, I forgot to make the things were kind of delayed with things with Sabrina and then with Marty, and the post went up on Patreon quite late. But we are Hallertau in. So I've got 6 workers. Then activate your bonus cards in play. A very quick phase because I haven't played any yet. Then clockwise, place workers on action spaces or exchange them for tools. So in a multiplayer game, we would go around when it's your turn. You can place a number of workers on one of the action spots, so the lowest amount that it requires. So it only costs me 1 to go on anything in this quadrant, but it would cost me 2 to go on anything in the other quadrants. And I can repeat actions as long as next time I want to do it, I'll pay more and more workers for it. If the spots are all full, you can't choose that action. If you haven't got enough workers to go there, you can't choose that action. So yeah. Main thing you'll be doing is placing workers on a space, carrying out that action. On your turn as well, you can exchange any number of workers for that many tools. So tools are used. Sometimes we'll want to, have them or spend them for cards, but probably the main thing we use tools for is moving these boulders along. So at the end of the round, we'll have the opportunity to spend certain resources to make these buildings better, to advance them along. So I could move carpentry a step, there's a gap. But if I want to move it again this round, there's a boulder in the way. I can spend a tool, well, exhaust a tool. You don't spend them until the final round, or unless you're called upon to spend them by a card. So I could exhaust a tool to move a boulder a space, and hey, now I can move the carpenter another space this round. Next movement though, It's 2 boulders you got to move. You're going to have to exhaust 2 to move them again, but then I could move the carpenters one more time. If we move all of the buildings 1 step along, the community centre will automatically advance and we'll get more workers next round and eventually qualify for lovely, lovely points. So that's why I want tools. So there's always a way to get them by exchanging workers for them. Hey, Michael, how's it going? I need to. I'm kind of refreshed a bit from watching my old video and rereading the rules and stuff. But yeah, like I when I look at this game, I remember it being one of my favorites of 2020. Definitely, it was high up in the top 10. I don't know if that's the year I didn't rank them, but it's kind of it's gone a little bit hazy. Like I remember very fond feelings, and it's not a game that I've considered getting rid of from the collection. But yeah, one of the main reasons I wanted to put it in the let's revisit a game vote is that it's gone a bit fuzzy, and I need to remember why I was so excited about it. Whereas like Pursuit of Happiness, I remember exactly what goes on in it and why I love it. I might not be as familiar with every expansion, but yeah, that was the reason for that one. So let's change this camera angle slightly to get the cards in here. Of my starting cards then. So I want to have 6 or 7 fields. If I do this, I remember you can play the cards at any time, unless you're told otherwise by the card. I'll get a new field in row 2 or row 5. You want them high up because when you plant stuff in rows that are high up, they will yield more resources. Have 3, 4, or 6 planted fields. I will get a hops and a meat either way, however many I've got when I decide to play the card. But the more planted fields I've got, the more bonus cards I'll be able to draw. Then have as many sheep as fields. So when I saw that at first, I thought like maybe I'll do an action that gets rid of one of my fields, or maybe gets rid of even 2 of them, and then just get 1 or 2 sheep. Then that qualifies. But you want to have at least 2 sheep, I suppose, to use the benefit. Like when you gain sheep in this game, so if I was to gain a sheep this round, see the arrow, it goes in round 4, and that means at the start of round 4, when we move this card, any sheep on it are going to die. But there are various effects on the board and on this card to give sheep a round each, so we'd be able to move sheep along. Eventually, if they move off the 6 card, they go to the stables, they're not going to die and they're worth points at the end. So yeah, that's the benefit of that card. Up to 2 sheep will gain a round each and get a milk and get a bonus card. Have 3 tools and 2 planted fields. So you can see how these things are working together a bit. I'll be able to harvest up to 2 fields early, because there is a harvest phase in number 7, and then I'd have the resources to do stuff with, and get a bonus card. And finally, we've got a points card. Spend 4 tools, so permanently gone, to get 6 points. Hey, Vivi? Sorry if everyone has got display names. YouTube just shows me your usernames now. So sorry if I suddenly don't recognise anyone. Oh, the solo scenarios on it as well. Oh, did they do like solo challenges and stuff? It is an Uwe game. It is probably that's like I enjoyed Oranian Burger Canal very much, but this is the last one that I properly fell in love with, I would say. I wasn't a big fan of Black Forest. I didn't really like Ottawa. But Hallertau. That's where it's at. So what are we going to do then? I've got 6 workers. To move any of the buildings, it costs you 1 good. Some of the buildings have requirements on them. So for the carpentry building, I have to spend more clay than rye. Just trying to remember the names of the resources because I want to say wheat, but I know it's not. So in round 1, that basically means you can only spend a clay to move it a space, because it only costs 1 good in round 1, and it's going to go up by 1 good each round. Later on, you'll be able to get discounts by using different types, so you don't have to. So some buildings, you just can pay any of those resources. You can only use 1 flax in the bakehouse. No restriction on manufacture or the cooling house. So how are we going to make this happen? I was thinking, kind of before I started, when I was just focusing on 1 card, which isn't a great idea, land sale here, throw away 1 of your fields, get a jewellery. Great jewellery can be used as a wild card, ignore the requirement of the building and just move it forward a space. later on when it's cost 6 goods to move something one space. Jewelry can be a lifesaver. And get 3 clay, which we want for carpentry, we'll want for other things. So get rid of one of your fields. Actions to get sheep, can get sheep there, can get sheep there. But those 3 actions would be my 6 workers, because they've all got something on them at the start. And I would fulfill 1 card. I would get a bonus card for later. But maybe it would be easier to just try and build up sheep later on and know that in the future. I would like to get hold of some tools. We can go to action spaces, by the way, and get a card of each type. So these gateway cards, these are the ones that I've got 4 of right now. We can get more of those. These, I can't remember the other type of cards. These are field cards, and so have I got them the right way around in my head? Which deck's which? I think those are the expert cards. Those are the field cards, although all the ones I've drawn from that happen to be fields. These are the bonus cards, so they'll get you something in phase 3 of every round in the future. And these are points cards, so you can come to a space and get first player, which doesn't matter in the solo game at all, but get a card of that type. So maybe it would make sense then. We've already got 3 fields, so I can just say, I'll do this card right away. I wouldn't get any bonus cards from it though, because if I planted just 1 more field, I could get a bonus card. I do want to have 6 or 7 fields. It's going to make it harder to fulfill that as many sheep as fields, but maybe we'll get rid of those fields later. Have 3 tools and it'll let me harvest up to 2 fields. That's not going to be as useful right now, is it? I'm tempted, since it's only going to cost me 1 worker, to get another card and just see where we're at. I want to do something to get some clay and just generally some resources that will move things along. I feel like whatever I wanted to save up till, I want to do this card this round. And then the meat could be used to advance the cooling house. I could plant the hops. Hey, Mikhail, how's it going? Hey, Tobias. I'm very excited to be playing Echo. This foot is amazing. Right. So getting new fields is just, that would get you a new field on space 5. That would be on space 4. That would be on space 2. So probably on one of the actions to get a new field. And then play this card to get it to get it to happen, and then we'd get a bonus. Getting tools, we're gonna have to rely on cards, or we're gonna have to spend workers. Like, have 3 tools as well, but we don't need to harvest the fields just yet. So out of the cheap spaces, I think I want to go and just get a card and just see what it is, and we'll have a think about doing it. So have 5, 6, 7, or 8 jewelry. So this is for way into the future. And you can either have 2 tools. Oh, depending on how many you've got is your choice. So if you've only got 5 jewelry when you play this card, you get 2 tools. If you've got 6, you can choose between the tools and 2 fields on 2. If you've got 7, you could now choose 2 fields on 5. If you've got 8, you have the option of 3 sheep. So that is for way later, that card. We want to end up with a load of clay. So that's clay or the field. That's a bad field, really, the lowest it could be, but I would get a clay. It would be nice to move buildings more than 1 space early on, but we're going to need tools and everything for that. So I don't know how feasible that's going to be. This symbol here is for sowing. So when you sow any one of the crops things, so we've got rye, flax, barley, hops, you plant it in one of the fields. Based on the row of that field, you're going to get that many resources later in the round. That's going to let me sow a lot. Clearing only gets me 1 clay and a bad field, essentially, but it would also give me the clay as part of 1 action just for 1 worker. I think I'm going to do that. Let's just make some decisions. So fields, basically you've got up to 8 fields. You can only have 1 field per column, and it goes in the row based on where you've been told to put it. If you lay a field fallow, don't plant anything in it, later on in the round, they're going to go up a space. If you did plant something in the field, you'll harvest it, and it will go down. Can't go above 5, can't go below 2. And I also get a clay. So when you get something for the first time, you grab it and you put it in your one section. When you get more of it, you can move it up, or you can get more resource tokens if you want. Okay, busy weekend seems like a good one. Because we get probably a wool more than a milk, because that'd let us move the manufacture building. We'd like to get everything moved at least one space. I've got the clay now for this. I started with the barley. It would be nice to plant it and get some more. So when do we... Oh, we move the craft building after the harvest. So if we plant it, we will get to reap the rewards first. An action I very much like is fertilizing. It would cost 2 workers, but you can move up to 2 empty fields into row 5. So we could move these not very great fields all the way up. And then you get to sow one thing. Maybe that would be quite a good thing to do. What have I got? So we don't need tools right now. I would like tools. But I don't need them. Oh, 3, 4, 6 planted fields as well. I'm treating it like it's just have the fields. It says right there, planted fields. Doesn't feel like I'm going to get sheep, does it? So why don't we try some fertilizing? Move up to 2 empty fields into row 5, and then sow something. I'm going to sow barley here, so I'm going to get 5 at the end of the round. It says 1 planted field. I'm going to come out here and have a busy weekend. So get a milk or a wool. Yeah, I'm going to say wool. I'm going to stick to wool. So I get 1 of it. And then sow 2 things. So the only things I've got that can be sown are here. And if I had like 2 rye and I wanted to plant 1 of it, we'd move it down and we'd get a new rye to plant somewhere else. But as it is, we've only got 1 of each thing here. So I want to have more flax, I think, and we'll have 4 rye. Okay. So right now, we've got the clay for that. We're going to have the barley for that. We're going to have the... Oh, if I play the card, we've got the meat. We have meat and milk. Or maybe you want to get milk instead of the meat. Instead of the wool here, yeah, get the milk. Because how am I going to play this? I've got nothing I could plant right now to get 4. The only downside of playing it early is we're not going to get a bonus card out of it. But I would get a hops. Which I could then plant, but then I wouldn't have the card to qualify for it. What else are we going to do with 1 worker? I can turn it into a tool, and it's good to have later on. I haven't got a sheep to go here. I could go to the nursery and get 3 more clay, or just 3 crops. So that's any of the 4 things here. So we could do an action next time, sow 4 times. And then we would qualify for the 4 things here. If I keep getting more fields. Let's get a tool, and then we could move something 2 spaces. Because your tools are permanent as well. It's nice to have them early on. So we have done phase 4, clockwise take turns. Phase 5, take the farmyard card next to your stable board into your hand. So our new card is spend 2 fields to get 14 meat minus the number in the window, and then get 2 bonus cards. So lose 2 of your things. It'd make it easier to have as many sheep as fields. The number is going to be 7 in a minute, so still we get 7 meat. That's pretty tempting. I want to build this up, but yikes. Okay. So we've taken the farmyard card. Move each empty field 1 row up. Then we harvest the planted fields, so they just move over the things over here. And the fields move down if they had something planted in them. And you're meant to do it as you go along so you don't forget, like I was about to there. Okay, then. Oh, move each empty field one row up and then move exactly one of them up a second time. So there's only one to move a second time. Nearly forgot that bit. Then you get a milk for each sheep that you've got. Then we're going to pay for the community centre. So you're not really going to be able to see me resources essentially here. But it costs 1 good each. So we've got 1 clay. We can spend the 1 clay moving the carpenters along. No, I don't have that. Then at the brew house, we can spend 1 barley. And that's going to move that along, nearly threw that away then. It needs to be on 4 still. Milk, we can only do the cooling house once because I don't have any more milk or meat. The bakehouse, we could do rye or barley or flax, at most 1 flax. Well, I think flax for the manufacturer because that's all I've got of that. And then let's do it again for the bakehouse. Get some more of it later, maybe. And then I will exhaust my tool, so it will come back next round, to move this boulder 1 space, and we'll pay another barley to move the brew house once more. Now, because there is a gap, the community centre is going to move along here. I'm going to get 7 workers next round. And I think that's it for everything that I can do over there, because I don't have the tools to move these boulders along anymore. And then step 10, the last thing in a round, is we rearrange the boulders so they are basically in the positions they were at the start of the game, 2 and 4 spaces ahead of the building. So you're effectively getting like free movement there. The tools are just to be able to move multiple spaces in 1 round. And that's round 1. So it's like, although I've been blathering for a while, what we're like half an hour in, it's quite a quick playing game. But we can't do without the blather. I forgot to open my can before we started. Loud noise. I remember to drink all the time, don't worry. Okay, round 2. Now we need a quadrant card. Hey, how's it going? We are going to remove 1 row of workers from quadrant number 1. So because I didn't go there in the first round, all of those spaces are now free to use. Move the farmyard card off the board. It is now 2 goods to move every building. So that's why having tools would be so nice to move more buildings while it's so cheap. But yeah, you're limited by what you can do. And then remove any sheep, place workers. We now get 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Activate your bonus cards. Didn't do any yet. And then we place workers. So, having a load of planted fields makes this farming action really tempting right now. Also, this fella here, I know it's giving up fields. Hey Julian, how's it going? Happy Thursday. But 7 meat and 2 bonus cards. I feel like that's got to be done. We could still... Just like this wants us to have 6 or 7 fields. If I got rid of 2 straight away, could I get hold of 2 sheep? If I was willing to spend 4 of my 7 workers, I could get hold of 2 sheep, and that's have as many sheep as fields. I'd get a milk, I'd be able to advance them a bit. And I'd get a bonus card. Is that worth doing? Yes, I'm going to try and not to get stuck in a loop of agonizing about things, because the other thing is, do you just plant a couple more and qualify for this that would get you even more, and then it wouldn't matter about getting rid of 2 for this? So let's get some sheep on the go, because we could be getting a milk for all of the sheep. And hopefully we can keep them alive for longer. So this is going to be 4 of your 7 workers. You realise that? Kind of. So sheep and a meat. The sheep in round 2 go on the round 5 card. That's when they are going to die. But they're going to get moved in a minute. And then meat goes on space 1. At the sheep market, we get another sheep there and a hide. And then I'm going to play this to get rid of 2 fields. Feels wrong as I'm saying it. To get 7 meat. So there's 5, 6, 7. Because it's 14 minus the number in the window, which is 7. Just about to say 7, look. And 2 bonus cards. Let's hope these are great. So that's just gone now. I don't need to keep track of that. What are our bonus cards? 3 flax. Spend 3 flax that you just harvested to put this card out, and then every round 3 you can sow a field with flax. Right, I've put the rulebook somewhere. I've looked at it, haven't I, in the middle of this game? The rulebook's got a... Oh, here it is. I haven't put it in my rulebook place. Just make sure I'm getting that right. 811. You can sow 1 flax from your supply into a field. Harvest it in phase 7 as usual. So a free flax sow. Have no fields in rows 2, 3, and 4. Well, we could play this right now. Oh no, I've got 1 in 4. Have no fields in 2, 3, and 4, and I would get an extra milk every round 3. Okay. So there's something to think about. So I could probably do that if we plant the flax. Hey Monica, how's it going? If we plant the flax and then give up 3 of it when we harvest. Okay, now I've got rid of those fields. I've got as many sheep as I have fields. So up to 2 sheep gain a round each. So they are now going to die in round 6. Hopefully we'll get a couple more nudges and they will live forever in the stables and be worth a point each at the end. And I get a milk. And that gets me another bonus card, which is spend 2 sheep to get a sheep every round in phase 3. And it's worth 5 points. All the bonus cards are worth some points as well. So effectively, I wouldn't get any milk this round. At the moment, I'm going to get 2 milk towards the end of the round. If I was to do this now, we would get, at the start of next round, 1 sheep here. The start of the round afterwards, they would start going straight into the stables and I wouldn't need to worry about any of that stuff. And we've got 5 points there. Let's think about that. I might need the milk. So I don't want to keep throwing everything away. It is an Uwe Rosenberg game. It may be the same illustrator as well, actually. Let me check that. I might just be talking rubbish. I have got Uwe's page open here still. We didn't get Feast for Odin on again soon. Lucas, no, it wasn't Lucas, was it? No, it's Dennis Lohausen for Feast for Odin. And it is Lucas Sigmon for Hallertau. Okay. So we need to get some more things planted again. So that would get me a new field. Also 4 times. I thought it was both. Oh, you've misread the entire situation. So this is probably not happening this round anyway. Because I've been throwing away my fields. So 3 workers left. We get another card. I don't know how useful that is right now. So right here, clay delivery, clay equal to the round number. So 2 clay for a worker. It's not too bad, but I could get 3 just coming up here. And we could, of course, butcher a sheep to get 4 meat and 2 hides. A wool per sheep and a sheep gains a round. Nah, Not very useful right now. I mean, I can't do this, but I was thinking about land sale. I could sell that, and then I've got no fields in 2, 3, and 4 to get the milk income out, and I would get a jewelry in 3 clay, which is not too bad. But then I would have 1 worker left, and I'd have to go here to sow that flax, and I don't know that wasting my resources in that way is going to be very useful. Whereas, like, I could get instead a new field out into like I could just come here and get a field on 5 and then sow in my 3 fields that I would then have. Thinking that's probably like a safer option, a more sensible thing to do. But you could be getting milk every round in phase 3. So let's think, we've got meat here for the cooling house to be advancing that at least a step. If you're spending these workers on planting, you're not going to have any more tools for like multiple movements. Something is telling me that I should do this. I don't know what it is. But I'm going to. It means you're not going to gain any things going up. Whereas, like, you don't need to get rid of it and do land sale. It's a waste. Like, the jewelry would be nice. We do want to get a load of jewelry. But you could, in phase 6, when the empty rows move up, then you would have no fields in rows 2, 3, and 4, and you'd still have 2 rather than cutting yourself down to 1, as long as you don't plant something in it, which is then a bit of a waste of all of the sowing actions that let you do 4 things, and I would just be doing like 1. So what have we got for the brew house? We need to get clay somehow then, which makes me think we should probably come to the nursery and get 3 of it. So we need at least 1. Then what about here? We've already got some barley if we're only going to plant 1 thing. Seems reckless. You got loads of meat for the cooling house. The bakehouse, we've got some things. And you're going to plant flax and have a couple more. Manufacture, we've got our hide. Because coming here and getting 2 wool is nice. And a sheep would gain around, but I was going to get rid of the sheep with the bonus to get the bonus card. It's tough. In a good way, though. Okay, this may be daft. I'm going to go farming. And I'm going to sow flax here. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Then, ignoring one free plant that I could do we get 2 clay, 2 wool, and a sheep gains around, but that doesn't really matter because I was going to sacrifice them. 2 wool, haven't got the milk for that, or a cord. The wool might help you advance stuff. You have got a lot of cords. But wouldn't more be better? I'm going to get a cord. Have 3 sheep and 3 jewellery. Well, that's not happening anytime soon. Right, let's get cards out and be potentially very reckless. I'm going to... Oh, we could lose the 2 sheep after we've got milk from them, though. Boom. The advantage of having cards you can use at any time. So, we're done with the actions because I haven't got any workers left. Get the card. So have 4, 9, or 16 wool for 1, 2, or 3 jewellery. Okay, wool suddenly became a much higher priority because we'd like jewellery for this and just for having it in general. Move each empty field 1 row up, and one of those empty fields goes up an extra space, but it can't. Right, stop. We have no fields in rows 2, 3, and 4. I could have gained another field, couldn't I, in like 4, and it would have done it, but I didn't have the workers to do that. No. Better with what I did, I think. So bonus card is out. Then harvest your field. And that moves down. So it's only true for a split second. Then spend 3 flax that you just harvested. 1, 2, 3. So we could just stick that on 4 now. It doesn't matter. You can arrange them however you like as long as the total's right. And so we have another bonus. Or maybe we should line them up over here. That'd make sense, wouldn't it? I've made a nice little bonus card gully down here. And then nothing else is true, I don't think. Oh, the sheep we're going to do after the milk, aren't we? Get a milk for each sheep. 3 milk. And now I am going to sacrifice both of those sheep. Play this card and get 1 every round. Then moving in the buildings. This isn't going to be very impressive, I don't think. So we could do a clay and a rye to move you. You're already moved, so we'll worry about you in a minute. Meat, I've got a lot of. There's no discount for spending different goods yet. So we could just do 2 meat, move you a space. The bakehouse, I've got 4 flax. I only want to have like 1 at least so I can do the free planting from the bonus card. So we could do a flax and rye, maybe, to move you along. And then in manufacture, we've got this hide that's not doing anything right now. Haven't got any wool. Can do a flax, and that moves you along, which moves the community centre along. We'll get 8 workers now. Need to get it moving more, though. And then we've got a tool, so we want to get it. Oh, the brew house, we don't need a tool to move it another space yet. So I have to spend 2 barley because I don't have any hops. Then I have got a tool, so it's not going to be you. I could spend 1 each of the clay and the barley for it to be carpentry. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh no, it has to be more clay than... So you'd have to spend both of the clay. Or you could spend 2 meat, you got 6. You could spend a meat and a milk. 2 meat. And the tool will move this along. So we move the cooling house there. And maybe we'll be able to get, if we get some more tools and stuff, maybe we'll be able to get more things out next time. I think that's okay though, that's some good progress. Rearrange the boulders so they are 2 and 4 spaces in front of the buildings. Yep, and we are ready for round 3. Okay, quadrant card, please. We are removing them from 1 or 2. So, odds 1, evens 2. That is either a 1 or a 6. It's a 1. So, quadrant 1 gets these 2 workers removed from it. Then, move this off the board and put your workers on it. 3, 7, 8. So now you can see we've got a little discount. It's 3 goods to move each building. But if you use at least 2 types, it only costs you 2 goods. Unfortunately, that makes no difference to the carpentry and brew house, because by using 2 types, you've still got to have more of one thing than the other. So you can't do 1 and 1 on these. So it's no good for these buildings. But these 3, it's great for. Got our workers. Activate your bonus cards. Sow a flax. Let's put it in the best thing. Why not? Then get a milk. Get a sheep. And it's round 3, so it goes directly onto card 6. Now we have actions again. So it feels like I want to come here and get a new field in 5. How do we get the jewelry? Having wool. Getting sheep is very expensive. And unless... And the milk is going to be really helpful for the cooling house. But we will get milk from having sheep. So why don't we spend 4 milk and a worker to go here to get 2 more sheep? Admittedly, they're on card 6, so we would like them to advance so they don't die. But that right now gives me 3 sheep. If I could get 3 jewelry somehow, I get all of this stuff. I could get 2 jewelry by going to the town hall here, move a craft building to the left, get 2 jewelry. Give up a field to get another one. I don't really want to do that. So now, I haven't got any wool right now. Well, this could get me a jewelry, couldn't it? Building up some wool. Like, we could go here. Am I going to get more sheep from these? No. No, not this round. So I've got 3 sheep. Gets me 3 wool. 1 sheep gains a round. So goes from the last card to the stables. They would just advance along. I think we saw it earlier, didn't we? So I've got... If I got 1 more wool, I could get a jewelry. Or we could save it until later, and with the more and more sheep that we're getting, maybe it could turn into something big. Still got 5 workers. Probably want to get at least another tool. Just nothing got cheaper. Planted things, essentially, because only this got cleared. You could just sow 3 things. If I harvest fields from this card, do they go down as usual? I feel like they do, but if there's a little get out of jail free thing here. Yeah, they still move down. So I wonder if I could get out of that. But no, you can't. So I want to get more things planted because we're running out of stuff here. Now I'd like to have 4 planted fields if possible. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 things that I could plant. Or I only need 3 things to plant because 1's already planted. So get a new field and then plant 3 times. It's going to cost 4 workers to do all of that. As you could just have 3 fields planted and not get an extra bonus card. But I love the bonus cards. And then maybe get 1 tool. Yeah, let's get another field in 5. And then let's plant 3 things. So we're running out of barley. We're running out of rye, essentially. I'm not running out of flax. Whichever one I pick, it's going to be used the most. Probably the rye. Okay, though, so it means we're only going to be moving the carpenters once. Which is okay, because we haven't got enough tools to move the community centre twice in this round. I'm going to use you to get some more clay. No, we need tools from somewhere. So I'm going to turn you in for my second tool, which doesn't feel like very much. So I've got 4 planted fields. We can get a hops and a meat and a bonus card. Have 2 jewellery. I know, spend 2 jewellery, but get 2 barley every round. I don't have the jewellery right now. Okay, stick with it. Oh, that was a quick round. I feel like I've burnt through too much stuff. And I'm probably not going to have the things I need for all of this now. Let's see. So take the farmyard card, which is have meat. I've got 5 meat right now. I can put this card out straight away to get 2 wool and a field in space 4. Why wouldn't I? Because I'm going to spend this meat in a minute. Yeah. So 5 meat, perfect. 2 wool and a field in number 4. Right. Take the card. Next, move each empty field. Another reason to do it. We've now got an empty field that can move up. Can't move up an extra space, but it's in 5, which is good. Harvest your planted fields. Don't need to empty them this time. I don't need to spend anything from them to satisfy a card this time. That was just for last round. And I've got some nice stuff. Get a milk for each sheep, which is 3. And then pay to advance the community centre. Right. So for these buildings here, if I pay a meat and a milk, we can take advantage of the discounts. Same for a flax and a rye for the bakehouse. Only costs 2 resources. I know I didn't need to move the cooling house to advance things here. Manufacture, that's going to be a rye and a wool. Take advantage of the discount. The thing here has to be 2 clay and 1 rye. Can't take advantage of the discount because of the restriction. So the community centre can move and give us 9 workers next round. Yeah, I would need 1 more tool for boulders here to be able to move it an extra space. So hopefully next time, might be lagging behind on that a little bit. So the brew house, I'm just going to spend 3 barley because I could plant the hops next time and get more of it. We're not going to use tools on that. I don't have the resources to move carpentry again, so we should use the tools to advance these 2 another time. So if I go for barley and rye here, that's 2 goods using the discount. Manufacture, we don't have any hide, so it's going to have to be wool and flax again to move that a second time. Again, carpenter is holding us back on the community centre moving, but I didn't have the tools anyway, even if I had the clay to do it, which I don't. So that's good. Almost like if I can move all the buildings again next time, they are getting more expensive. We could maybe get a double move next time. So I've paid all the goods, then rearrange your boulders. And we're on to round 4 of 6. So, oh, quadrant card. It is going to be quadrant number 3. That has the top row of workers taken off each space. And then the current farmyard card, there were no sheep on it. We are getting 9 lovely workers. 3, 6, 9. Activate your bonus cards. Plant a flax. We will do that in space 5. Why not? Maybe these will move about. We'll see. Get a sheep. Sheep now go straight to the stables from round 4 onwards. And get a milk. Lovely. And then place workers. So, I've only got 3 wool right now. Am I going to get... We've only got 3 milk. Just thinking, am I going to do sheep breeding on that again to try and build up to having 9 wool and getting 2 jewellery? That would be nice. I want to plant several things. Like, small trade seems like a good thing to do. Now it's been made free. We can get a milk or a wool. If you get a milk, you could get 2 more sheep. Yeah. A sheep gains a round, so it can go into the stables. And then 2 crops. So what do we want most? Probably 1 each of these. You could maybe plant 2 if you're in the right position to do so. Okay, that's the small trade action done. Don't need an extra tool right now, but it would be nice to have 3 tools and 2 planted fields. 1 more field would get me another field. 2 more fields would get me a 3rd field in row 5. And make it easier to do a land sale. But getting those 2 extra fields is going to be tough. Like, if we just got 1 extra field here in row 2 and a clay, that's 6, and we get another field in row 2, so that field's okay, and I feel more able to get rid of a field to get a jewellery, first jewellery, and 3 clay. I could get 4 more clay up here for 1 single worker. But I was going to spend some workers here. Like, I've got 4 milk. Spending it all to get 2 more sheep. The sheep are all a point each as well as getting you all the milk and stuff. And we've now got 6 sheep. So if I come here, I get 6 wool. 1, 6, and a sheep gains a round. So no sheep are going to die now. They're all in the stables for the rest of the game now. So it makes those parts of actions less attractive for the rest of the game. But I now have 9 wool. Just have it. Hey, Lynette, how's it going? I have 9 wool, so I can get 2 jewellery and turn in this card. I have now got 3 sheep and 3 jewellery, so I can get a flax, a hide, a milk, and a wool. 10 wool. And if I could get 2 more jewellery, I could get 2 tools out of it, but I've got 1 worker left. So do you want to get 4 clay, a card, bonus card or a gateway card, kill a sheep for 4 meat and 2 hides, or get a tool? So how are we for the buildings? Because I would like to move you twice. So 3 goods if you use different types. So 2 moves would be 4 clay and 2 flax. Oh, you haven't planted anything? You fool. What have you used all your workers on? Well, that's going to hold up 2 movements of everything, isn't it? Your sheep excitement. Hmm. Yeah, we're not going to get 2 movements of everything then, are we? Unless you use the jewellery. So I don't think there's anything I can really take back out of what I've done here. So we can move that twice. I don't think I need a tool this round. If you're going to move everything twice, you might need to kill a sheep. Or spend some jewellery. Just because I've only planted this flax. Like a fool! I've burned through my workers, but hopefully it was worth it with all that other stuff that I did. That jewellery will be really helpful towards the end. Butchery, I'm so sorry, sheep. I didn't mean it. 4 meat, 2 hides. Maybe that's going to be enough. We're stuck with it now. Maybe we'll only be able to move it once. So there's the actions. Take the card, which is spend a field. Oh, this might save me. If I'm willing to give up another field. There's no reason to have so many now other than you'd get to move it up an extra space. Let's do it. Gonna do it. Sorry, 2 field. I know you're about to get moved up potentially twice, but you're not anymore. 3, and all the fields are being laid fallow, so maybe that'll work out well in the end. Maybe it's not such a terrible thing I did. 1, 2, 3 rye, not wheat, and 1 hops. That might save me that farm mode card. They've been very nice. In the position that I've been in, they've been very nice. Every empty field goes up 1 space, and then 1 of them goes up another space. Got all these 5 fields. Harvest your planted fields. We get 5 more flax, and you move down 1. A milk for every sheep is now only 5. That's still 5 milk, isn't it? And then pay to move your community centre. So definitely do this. And pay a tool to do it another time. So 3 goods if you use 2 types. 4 clay and 2 rye moves that twice. I don't know if I've got the resources to move everything twice. But we'll see. So the brew house. Oh, everything. Now that carpentry's moved, the community centre moves straight away. The rumble of rocks are here in my head as the community centre moves each time. The brew house. So 3 goods if you're using 2 types. 1, 2, 3 by using the hops. Cooling house, we've got loads of meat. 1, 2, 3. Discount for using 2 types. At the bakehouse, you can only use 1 flax. So we want to use 2 of something else. Probably not barley, probably rye. Because you've already moved carpentry twice. Manufacture. Coming at you. We've got the most wool, haven't I? 2 wool. And 1 flax. Oh, I had more resources than I thought, I think. The cards definitely helped. But there's a second community centre movement. So I can't, because I didn't get any more. We definitely can't move carpentry, and I've got no clay anyway. So 100% can't. What other building would it be good to move? Probably manufacture, with the amount of wool and flax that I have. 2 wool, 1 flax, tool to move the boulder. Get that moved again. Maybe we can get 2 movements again next time, because am I even going to get it to the end at this point? I said it was so important in previous streams and at the start of this one. But hey, it's okay if I've gotten rusty. It's been a few years. Right. So we've moved these as much as we can, and then rearrange your boulders. Done. Round 5 of 6. No new bonus cards have gone out, have they? So, oh, quadrant card, please. We are doing quadrant 3 or 4. Odds or evens, please, dice. Evens, it's going to be quadrant 4. Clear all you out. Get the farmyard card. Get 11 workers. But this might be where you want more tools. Definitely want to get stuff planted. Unfortunately, my beautiful farming space here hasn't been cleared off, although fertilizing's gotten a little bit better. Activate your bonus cards. So plant a flax. Might as well be on a 5, why not? Gain a sheep. Gain a milk. Lovely. And then do cards. Oh, hey Marty. Hey, yeah. We're away for like a day and a half, and Marty is incredibly needy today. That's okay, isn't it? Just try not to destroy the community centre, Marty. I mean, 2 more jewellery for moving the town hall back. 1 of that jewellery could be spent moving it back out. And we'd be on 5 jewellery to get 2 tools and not have to spend workers. More, and you could potentially get fields or sheep. But I'm thinking the 5 for tools might be the best thing, and then we get to use the workers on workery things. Boom, town hall. Back for 2 jewellery, please. Marty. I mean, if you were a lap cat, you could have a great time right now. But Marty is a lie on your chest cat. A lie basically over your face cat. But people don't get to see as much anymore. Get a nice view of you here. We do need to make a nice little Marty space in here again. There is too much stuff everywhere. But that is partly because the game's overflow annex turned into a baby's bedroom. You could argue. Shouldn't have had a game's overflow annex. Not the official name, of course. Rich kept saying it was just called the spare room. Tail positioned there very much for swishing all the workers off. Marty, can I eject you? I'm sorry. But we're not going to stop the stream. We've just got to finish the game. We're not going to stop the stream because you need a fuss. I'll be finished soon. I love you. Right. I don't know what happened up here. Does anybody know? You would have just been down there. Oh, no, you would have been there. Did I get clay equal to the round number? Where was I at a second ago? Will my replay have that? Yes, that's what it was like. Right. He is a lovely soft cat. Right. What was going on? What was I going on about before all that? Oh yeah, 5 jewellery. Maybe we should just get 2 tools out of it. I've got a lot of fields right now. Because you don't get multiple things, you just get the choice of more things. 5 jewellery for 2 tools, please. Well, I don't have to spend it. Just got to have it. I've got 3 tools, so if I can get 2 planted fields, I can harvest things straight away and then get them planted again. So cheapest ways to sew. I mean, two workers right here can plant you three things. That's the cheapest. So we haven't got much hops. I feel like you should go on a 5. We haven't got that much barley, so you should go on a 5. And then I've got 3 tools. I've got 2 planted fields. I can harvest up to 2 of them. So I'm going to harvest the hops, move you down, and the barley, move you down. Maybe we'll do stuff with that, but I would like to see the bonus card as well. Give up 3 fields to get to get a new field in row 5 every round. That's only going to happen one more time. It is worth 6 points, but we could do it at any point before the very end of the game. So I don't know that I'll give up 2 jewelry for 2 barley once. 7 points though. Maybe I will. Sabrina is much better now. Thank you for asking. She has got rid of her sniffles, and she is now basically crawling about. I think she was like struggling to do it, wanting to do it this time last week, and is like still kind of just dragging her legs sometimes, but is pretty much crawling and desperately trying to stand now as well. It's all rapidly advancing and at the same time making a load of new sounds and trying to talk more. There's a lot rapidly happening. She's mastered higher. And there's some very like went out to dinner earlier and she's got this. She points at people. She points at strangers when she wants them to acknowledge her, and then they get a nice wave when they do. But if they ignore her, they get increasingly loud hires until they respond. Shouldn't always do that, but it's a nice little trick that she's learned when she wants some fuss. She mainly uses the shout higher as loud as she can at Marty, because you should understand that he's giving you the maximum amount of interest that he has as a cat anyway by giving you a little glance and then moving off. But Sabrina wants a chat with him. Right, we need to get some more stuff planted. We'll get some more resources. It'll all be great. I don't know that 4 tools is enough to advance the thing twice if I can get all of the resources for her. So we've got 4 fields ready. They don't need to be in row 5, do they? We could work that out again. Like, if you want to plant 4 things, that's 3 workers. But maybe it's worth it. It's 3 workers to plant 3 things. I mean, these spaces might not be available for the final round, so maybe we'd be held back there. But yeah, 3 workers. I definitely want, like, I've got the least of you now, so you should be planted. 2. We could have more barley. 3. And 1 more. Let's see, we'll have 9, 9, 9, 9, 10 of barley. So I suppose everything. We didn't need to plant 4 things, but there's no downside of having a ton of it, is there? Other than maybe you should have used the actions on something else. Hey Carolina, the manufacturer's one space. I think it was, but we used the town hall. Kind of. I think that was in the middle of the Catzilla attack, and moved it to the left to get the jewelry, which triggered a load of things. But that all kind of happened at once. That's why the boulders are along, but the manufacturer got moved back for that. I think that was this round. So, and clay delivery just gets better and better. Why wouldn't I do that? 5 clay. Need it for this. Now, if you use 3 types, it only costs 3 goods. So you got to have the separate things. But I'm not bad for all of that, really. in the tool shed. If you want to give up a load of fields, I mean, we don't need the field, do we? We could just get 4 thingies from it. Or we could do land sale to get a... Oh, I'm trying to think of one more thing to get planted, aren't I? Well, we want more barley than hops. You've planted tons of it, but you want more barley than hops, so plant another barley. There we go. Okay. Like land sale is still nice. 3 clay, a jewelry, which remember, like, we could be spending the jewelry now. Jewelry is points at the end, I think. But it costs 5 goods, some discounted if you use a load of different types, or a jewelry moves a building a space. And we've got a lot of spaces to move these things in. Maybe I want tools. Because I could, like, with 3 of these workers now, I'm not even going to get the community centre all the way along, am I? Oh well, it's my first game after a while. Doesn't have to be my best score ever. But I did better once. Is it worth getting a field and then doing land sale for the extra jewellery and clay? Probably not. You could just get 4 more clay here and not get the field. If you really want to sell a field next time when it's harder to cultivate things, you could get the jewellery then, because there's no need to have a ton of jewellery anymore. We've burned through all of those cards. You could spend workers getting a card, but if you don't qualify for them at this point, maybe a points card. But do you want to spend time getting one? I don't know that I want 4 tools. We can't move any more buildings to the left. Probably might as well, especially like quadrant 4 might get cleared. I don't think it will. But we could get 4 more clay. If I don't use it now, it's there for later. Four tools means that I could move the community centre twice if I can afford to do all of the buildings. Which, like, we've got a lot of things right now. Should be able to, shouldn't I? Maybe having the tools wouldn't be the worst thing to move more. So you're going to get a load of milk from this, remember? I just want to see a card. Something in me just wants a card. Now we've got rid of all of the gateway ones. Get 2 tools. And I want to see 1 more card, please. I don't know if it's the best move, but I haven't been doing the best moves the whole time, really. Right. 2 more tools. Well, you don't have to commit to that. See what the card is first. A barley per sheep on a single card. Oh, I don't have any. They're all unstable, so I think that's actually rubbish. But it can get me a bonus card, I suppose. Triple check, but I think that's getting me nothing. Yeah, I've got no sheep on farmyard cards, so I get no barley. But I can, like, I've got 5 jewelry, so that qualifies. I get a bonus card instead. Have 5 jewelry? I do. So we don't have to spend them. Might as well just have a bonus card out. So that work has got me 3 points and a meet next round. It's something, isn't it? Yeah, I think I'll commit to the have 2 tools. So that's the work's done. Get the card. Have 6 tools and 4 jewelry. Get 2 fields in rows whose sum is equal to your number of jewelry. 5. Brilliant. Oh, some. Okay. So not as good, but still alright. You want it at 10, put it up there. You know the word sum. Still good, still good. Move each empty field 1 row up, 1 an extra row up, We'll have you on 5, why not? Then harvest your planted fields. There are so many resources in these 4 and 5 spaces now. Not that I'm complaining. So maybe I'm not going to need to plant as many things next time. We have got 6 sheep, 5, 6 milk, and then move the buildings. So definitely doing them all once. So for 4 goods using 2 types means you need 3 clay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 rye. To move this once, spend a tool for twice. Brewhouse, same thing. The discount is good next round for 2 types. It's still alright, and it's 4 goods, but 3 of them have to be. So it has to be 6 of this, 4, 5, 6. You're all on the 5 space. And 2 hops. To move you twice, and a tool, of course. The cooling house, 4 goods using 2 types. So 2 meat, 2 milk. Moves it once. 1, 2, 3. Or actually, would you be better off? Put them back on 2. Because I've got so much more milk and a way of regenerating it. We should do 3 milk, 1 meat, because there's no more one than the other in here. You just need to have 2 types for the discount. So 6 milk and 2 meat. And a tool to move it the additional space. Then the bakehouse. If we use 3 types, we only need 3 goods. So it's going to be twice 2 flax, 2 barley, 2 rye. And a tool, 1, 2 spaces. Manufacture, we're not going to need a tool because the boulder got moved and we moved the building back. We want to use all 3 types if possible. So for 2 movements, that's going to be hide twice, flax twice, wool twice. And then the community centre moves 12 workers. 12 workers and 18 points. I feel like I'm getting it there a bit late, but there we go. And so we can use 1 tool to move manufacture again, or 2 tools to move any other building. I think like it doesn't particularly get any better, does it, for hanging on for anything? Everything's going to get more expensive next round. So these buildings that you can use 3 types on are the cheapest right now. So I'm going to do hide, flax, wool, and 1 tool. Doesn't matter that I didn't use the other tool. And move that again. Maybe we'll get 2 jewelry out of it. I don't have the tools to move everything more again. So this is going to move boulders off the edge now, isn't it? Which will make things easier for tools. You don't get to keep your tools when you use them in round 6, though. Just remind me about that step of the round. Or do they hang out on the edge of the board? I can't remember now. Moving boulder, yeah, 10 boulders. I assume they just move off the edge. So 1 goes 2 spaces and 1 4, but that's off the edge now. You could do that with tools to move off the edge, but if you do it too soon, they will come back. So now we'll probably need more than 6 tools. But the buildings are quite far now. Don't know how many points this is all going to translate to. We'll see. Maybe loads. Final round. Final quadrant card is going to clear off quadrant 4. The one I said it wasn't going to be. Then the current farmyard card comes off, and we get our full 12 workers. 8, 12. The most you can get. How are we doing for time? Oh, I think I sped up in the other rounds. That's not too bad. Round 1 took about half an hour. Rounds 2 to 5 took another hour. Not too bad. Get the workers. Lose sheep. Too late for that. Bonus cards. We get a meat, a sheep, plant flax. You can go in 5. That's good. I'm going to use fertilizing as well. And then get a milk. And we're going to get 7 milk at the end. And that's 7 points. That's summer. Workers. So. Remember, we've got all of this as well. Tools are going to be the thing that hold us back. But there aren't 2 boulders anymore. Am I right about that? I'm not just making up that they go off the edge, am I? They don't just hang out on the very end, do they? Yeah, it just falls off the edge. So 8, 9 boulders and the resources to do it all would get the community center to the end. So I'd need 3 more tools to accomplish that, which would mean not selling them for points here. Got 12 workers, you'd still have 9 to place. So I think we want to do fertilizing. So 2 of these can move up to row 5. And I can get 1 thing planted. Haven't got a lot of... I've got a lot of hops right now, actually. Haven't got a ton of rye. Let's get 1 of them planted. Are we going to give up 3 fields? Probably should have done it before income. You would have got 1 back. Are you going to plant all of these? Probably not, actually. Yeah, say I did that in the before the income phase. So I can do them at any time, and you'd get 1 back at 5 and 6 points. And then we just want to plant 3 things to maximize it. I don't have to plant 3 things. It would probably be nice to. I could do fertilizing again for 1. Where's the plant 2? There, and that could get me a wool that I'm kind of running a bit low on. Because these things all want to move 3 times. Manufacturer only wants to move twice, though. So let's see, with the jewelry, we should be able to get these things to the end. 3 more tools from 3 workers. The tool shed for just 1 worker can get me 4 clay. Could still move manufacture to the left. That's probably worth it, isn't it? And get 2 jewelry. It is a worker, I suppose. But 1 jewelry can be spent to move it right back out. So we're still gaining. It's cost us a worker. 6 workers, and it would be nice to get 3 things planted. But not essential. Having more fields left, having more goods and stuff left over could be helpful for points. But again, not vital. 4 workers could get you 4 tools and just get 6 points at the end. Because like having all of these things planted and getting 14 more resources is only worth 2 0.8 points. And it's going to cost me 3 workers at least to plant all 3. So do I need it? If we're just going to spend all of the jewelry. Maybe it's better to just get tools. Gonna get more milk to get the stuff in that way. And if we run out of resources, we've got 7 jewelry right now. Could even go land sale. Get some more clay, get another jewelry if we're not going to plant. In fact, yeah, let's... Do you need more clay and stuff, though? Makes it more likely we'll have jewelry left at the end to turn into 7 points. 2 jewelry for 7 points. We ignore the bonus of the card. Then you might as well have done it earlier and got the 2 barley. Barley's important to get planted, isn't it? I think we should get 2 things planted. Milk or wool. Wool is harder to get. Get tons of milk anyway. Plant 2 things. Haven't got a ton of barley. Don't need a ton of hops. Got that planted, got that planted. Maybe just go barley again. It's used in 2 buildings and you want the most of it. Then... a sheep is just a point for a worker, isn't it? Or do you get the 4 tools for 6 points and ignore the rest of the stuff? Is there anything I could do? And you could get a different points card, but then to get all these to the end, we're going to need all of these. Yeah, we're going to need all of these tools. So if you use a worker for anything other than getting tools, you can't get that 6 points, but it's only 6. What if it's something really doable on this top card? Might be something terrible. You haven't got a hide right now, though. And to get the discount of using 3 types, maybe the sheep market is a good idea. Sheep is worth a point. Hide. Well, maybe you're just using jewelry for it, and that was a waste. I'm not having them 6 points. We'll get a points card, and it's going to be great. Turn 8 sheep into 12 points. Look who's just got 8 sheep, and we'll do that after I've had the milk from them. Thank you very much. They're being sold to a very nice family to be kept as pets, of course. Right. 2 more workers. Could just plant something, could sell it and get the jewelry. More likely to have 2 left over for these 7 points. Maybe we're going to need more than 7 jewelry for all of that stuff. Maybe planting it is going to give you the stuff that you need. So what do we need? You're going to need 6 clay, which we've got. And you're going to need 9 clay to get carpentry to the end. You might have to use jewelry for the last one. We could get 6 clay up here. Land sale. Land sale. That's worth 0.8 points. Just, oh, it's going to tip up. It's going to be worth a full point. That field just being empty. To get a point and 3 clay. But we could just come here and have 6 clay. If that's what you're doing it for. Yeah. We could get a card. No, 6 clay. 1, 6. Done. Can we use the card? 7 tools, yes. Sow up to 2 crops of the same type in a single field. I mean, why not? I suppose it's not going to take up, but I'll get a load of resources for doing it. So what have I got the least of? Probably rye. So plant 2 rye in here. Lovely. Like, loads of these have been really useful. I've played them all sooner or later, haven't I? Right. Lovely farmyard card. Empty fields, I haven't got any. Oh, I could actually wait for that to tick up, couldn't I? Because I've still got 7 tools. Wait for that to tick up in phase 6. Then we play this card. That's the sensible thing to do. Then we harvest all the planted fields. He's got so much rye on that farm. This poor field out here, let's bring it in with its mates. Harvest your fields, moving them down. You get a milk for every sheep, which is 8 milk. The Tower of Resources here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Move your buildings. And we don't need the sheep at this point, so before I forget, we will... This gaining me 4 points, essentially. The 8 sheep would be worth this anyway. I suppose you... I don't know how you could have 8 sheep, but you might be in a position where some of them are going to die anyway by being on these farmyard cards. So maybe that's why you'd want to do it earlier. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Make sure I'm not doing myself out of a sheep. Now that they've produced their milk. Right. So cheapest way to do it... We're going to have to just lay all of these out here. These are all 5s. So cheapest way to do carpentry. 5 goods using 2 types. So that's 3 clay and 2 rye. 3 times 9 clay and 6 rye. 5, 9, 5, 6. 2 tools. Spending tools in round 6 exhausts them. No, not exhaust them. Spends them. So yeah, I've moved it and then moved it off the edge. That's 2 tools gone forever. But carpentry moves its way to the end without spending a point for it. Well, I suppose like 5 goods is the same as spending a jewellery. Jewellery's all a point each. Brew house. To move you 3 times, it's going to be same thing. 9 barley and 6 hops. 6 hops, 9 barley, and 2 tools to move that boulder off the edge. Move you 3 times. Managed it in the end. Don't know how many extra points we're going to have afterwards, but gave it my best shot. The cooling house. The cheapest way you can do it, again, 2 types. We've got the most milk. So, and you don't have to split it evenly now. Well, you don't have to have more than of one than the other. So we could say, again, 3 movements. You could say 4 milk for each, so that would be 12 milk and 3 meat. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 11, 12, and 2 tools. 1, 2, moves that off the edge. Lovely. Could be doing these step by step. Hey John, how's it going? And if you ended the game like this is what all these points are for here. So you would get yourself like 18 extra points from if that's the situation you ended up in. But we're hopefully going to move the whole thing. These have now got 3 types, so I only need 4 goods. Only 1 can be flax. We need to move it 3 times. So again, we'll spend 2 tools to move this boulder. There's no sense moving the boulders if you're not going to move the buildings past them, but we are. So that's why I'm just kind of tossing everything up. So we have to spend 3 flax. So if you're using 3 types, it's only 4 goods. We've got the most of this, haven't we? So we'll say 3 flax, 3 barley. 3 flax, 3 barley. And then 2 rye for each, times 3 is 6. 5, 6. And that's better than using jewellery. We might just have this jewellery left. Because that's 4 goods. So that's 0.8 points instead of spending a point to do it. Move you 3 times. 1 tool moves this boulder off the edge. And again, 4 goods for these 3 types. So We can only do that once. I've only got one hide. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Might have to use a jewelry here. Moves it one space. So now it's 5 goods for using 2 types. 3, 4, 5. Moves it there. And then I don't have the resources to move it again. So we're going to have to spend a jewelry, which can just move a building a space. Jewelry is amazing. But didn't have to use it as much as I thought. Oh, as I'm moving manufacture, the community centre should be moving along with it, shouldn't it? But we managed it. So we've got the full 12 workers never changes. 70 points. It's the most you can get out of the community centre. And with all this left over, we might as well, instead of just being worth a point each, I think, we'll double check in a minute, might as well spend 2 of that jewellery to get 7 points. Missed out on the income. Could have done that this round. Maybe could have done it the round before, but I was worried I might need the jewellery. So could have been in a position where I would have had enough barley to do something. I don't know. 4 tools left over. I might as well discard that because I've spent all of my tools. Could have been like turn in your things. Have 7 bonus cards in play. A points card or 7 bonus cards in play for 2 more points. 6 I got in the end. Have a points card in play. Spend a ton of resources. Have 6 gate cards in play. I wasn't keeping track of those because they're all just at the top here. But I played a lot of cards. A lot of cards. So let's have a look at the score then. Last time I played, I got a better score than I think that I'll get now. But it's been a while, hasn't it? There's potentially, this could be the stream was the last time that I played, in which case it's been like 5 years. Which is shocking in its way. So we've got 70 points from the community centre. We got... Did I not write down my scores when I played it? I've definitely played this on a stream with Paul. I've played it with Rach. I've played it offline. Maybe this was just my special playthrough page. I torn the others off. Sheep. I got rid of them all, so no points from sheep. Jewellery. Double check, but I'm pretty sure it's a point per jewellery. Came in and scoring. Yep, jewellery is a point each. If you have tools, you should spend jewellery to advance your buildings. Yeah, because the buildings are worth 3 points each for moving them about. So we've got 4 jewellery left, which is unusual. All of your stuff gets totted up. So fields, goods, and tools, add everything up and divide it by 5. So you can essentially, like, for every one of these that's on 4, we can give up a good to just move these up to 5. Like, it's not making any difference. It's just to make the counting a bit easier. So, like, spend one of them to move that up. Spend 2 of these to move that up. So our final goods, strokes, fields, stroke, tools count is 10, 20, 30, 6. Divided by 5 is going to be 7.2. I think I've done too terribly. I don't know that I've got like 40 odd points from cards though. Maybe not too far off. So we have got points on cards 12, 19, 25, 28, 33, 36, 39. So it is not going to beat that last time, but I don't think it's going to be very far off, which I'm pretty pleased about. So we've got 74, 113, 120.2. And that's not too far off, really. What's 6.6 points away from last time after I'd been practicing loads in a pretty close time frame. Well, not practicing, just playing it. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed about that. And yeah, it kind of like halfway through round 1, if not sooner, I was like, oh yeah, the cards. What's so special about this? Like in a completely different way to what makes Agricola such a special game and way better than Caverna. Yeah, it's just trying to work out when, like, the vast array of things that these cards want you to have, and most often have and not spend. Like there are other cards that didn't really come out that want the board to be in a particular state as well. Exactly one empty field. Plant a meat as if it were a crop. This is and there's four different decks of each of these as well that you can mix and match. So this is the expert difficulty deck, and then these are themed. I think this was the fields deck. And it says, like, in the rulebook you could mix and match them, but they haven't tried that. But yeah, these dark spaces here concern the board here. So farming, you see, is fully occupied. So that's when you'd be able to play that card and get that. But the chaining as well, and the trying to satisfy the bonus card, is it worth putting those out to get their resources early on? Probably. Like, as it turned out, I think those dodgy sacrifices early on were definitely worth it. They seemed risky at the time. So yeah, there's different decks of all of these, and then the bonus and points decks are just one deck, but the points deck is probably the same size as those. The bonus deck is way bigger. They had a nice mix of having things and spending things. Like, not just having to give stuff off, which is always nice as well. Like, sometimes you'll have to tear apart your engine to get more of these cards out to help it in future, or to just give you more bonus cards, which might help in future. There's always the risk as well. Like, I've seen a lot of, like, things over the years of just, like, people completely put off by the randomness of the cards in it. And yeah, maybe that did work for me in this game, and that's clouding it. I never remember it being a negative for me in the past. Was the playthrough back when I was still doing first impressions for everything? I say for everything. I barely do them now. Like, it's only really in the, like, top 10 of the year and stuff that I go on and on about opinions of things of too much, unless someone particularly asks. And then one-offs like that Arkham Horror one that I did. Just didn't fancy doing them anymore. It was a lot of pressure doing them. Playthroughs were the main thing that I always wanted to do. If you wonder why I ever stopped doing them, it didn't fancy them anymore. Even, like, going on about things that I really, really loved. Like, it was just felt like another thing. Like, I've just done a great playthrough. Can't wait to edit that and get it up. Gotta try and string a coherent thought and not get distracted by 30 other thoughts zooming past at the same time. I didn't really mind the style that they ended up in. But yeah, I've been happier not doing them. But then sometimes I see, like, I'm sure, like, you all know, right? Like, when I see things from people that should remain nameless going on about, like, things that come out about how, like, negativity is more honest, and, like, oh, thanks for such an honest review because you didn't like this thing, we know you're honest. Not towards me. Well, that has been commented on things that I haven't liked in the past, as if negativity is in any way more honest than positivity. Is just the person, rather than just being like, oh, they hated this, that means that they're completely unbiased. And let's not get into AI being used to write people's reviews for things and being passed on as, like, oh no, we really wrote this. Hey, at least it is not knowingly being used in design yet, no matter how much that guy wants it to be. He's gone though, so we don't have to worry about that matter into AG. What an insulting thing to say, if everyone saw that. Of how someone high up in AEG did some big post about how AI could basically design, what do you say, tiny towns, Cubitos, and something else. Like, AI is good enough to basically design all of these things. What a great thing to say publicly. Like, I'm sure the designers, like, felt great reading that rubbish out. But he's gone, so we don't have to worry about that. I don't know how I got onto that. Things that have been bugging me this week. Some of those just overwhelming things over there. Yeah, generally, let's concentrate on things that humans made, right? Like, who else but Uwe Rosenberg could keep delivering us these heartfelt things of the regions of his I think childhood is like Fields of Arla, right? Or, like, the past that he's so interested in, like Hallertau and Aura at Labora and stuff, and Le Havre and Agricola. Just so good. Like, I don't know that he's up there with my favorite designers, surely. Like if we just put it up as like in the days where I have to be like ever more strict of what games that I keep, a designer having the most games still on the shelf is a good way to kind of off the top of your head be like, here's one of my favorites. And I love the game so much. But yeah, Uwe's got to be up there. It's got to be Uwe Rosenberg, Vital Lacerda, Stefan Feld still, probably. Yeah, surely Stefan Feld. The heavy hitters still up there. But then maybe like, there's a lot of Stonemaier games, but they're not necessarily like Jamie Stegmaier designed ones. All of its culture, Euphoria, Tapestry, still about. Worry about that in the future. I was supposed to be not leading up to the anniversary, which is in like 2 months and a bit. Leading up to the 10th anniversary of doing this, I wanted to have like a brand new like top 50, top 100 things of all time. I feel like to have that ready by that time frame, I should be doing it now, which I have not had time to think about at all. But I would like to have something like that. Maybe I'll have to start it for the anniversary. It'd be nice if it all culminated and had like the final top 10 part on like the anniversary week or day. But yeah, we'll do some special things for that. This is part of it. Like this, the votes at least for this month, next month, and April when the anniversary is are all like, well, February's and April's are going to be like very nostalgic. Next month, I think the March vote is going to be for things that I like absolutely love and have had forever, but for one reason or another just have not ever gotten a playthrough. Which Agricola would have been part of that until a few months ago. We only did that for the first time like 9.5 years into the channel. Yeah, it's weird and like I know everything gets muddy and like in every kind of discussion of this, there's so many types of AI and blah blah blah. Talking about generative AI, like the theft of real life creativity of people and mishmashing it, shaking it up, and just seeing what comes out. Asking it enough times until it can give you a coherent enough answer that you think it's a genius. Whereas, like, ignore all of the times where it gave things 12 fingers and just made things look ridiculous. Like, you can guess my stance on all of this stuff. I don't really do, like, I feel weird putting out a video. Like, on one hand, like, oh, I should be saying something about all of this stuff. But on the other hand, I feel really weird putting out one of my garbled takes on things when there's people doing it a lot more eruditely than me. But yeah, the whole fundamental thing of being like I can't draw, right? Like I can do like very doodly things that yeah, it's none of it's getting passed off as any kind of actual drawing. And like I'm sure that if I devoted like real time and effort to it, I could draw somehow. I might not end up doing anything like this, even after decades and decades of doing it. But like you could get somewhere by really, really persevering with it. But I don't. But I also don't think, well, here's my creativity. I'm going to type a load of things into a box and get one of these generative generators to generative generators. What a mess. Get one of these things to spit out a picture for me, and because I type, oh no, do it slightly differently, or I brushed a little bit up in Photoshop to make it look like a proper drawing, that's suddenly creativity from me. But like the idea as well that like because that's the way people that really evangelize for these things which I don't understand why. Like, you don't have to evangelize for corporations. Like, they are in charge and they have all of the money and all of the influence and stuff. They don't need you on their side as well. Like, you can be skeptical of it or worry about it and stuff. But yeah, the idea that that's how humans work. Like, humans see things. Like, humans play games. Like, musicians, right? They listen to music and then they copy that music, and all the influences in their head mashed together, and what they come out with is just like how AI works, which not only infuriatingly simplistic and stupid, but like it's not just that really. At least anyone worth listening to isn't like that. It's like not just all of their influences, it's their experiences and the way they are and stuff, and the way that people interact with each other all coming together to make something special. I don't want to get off on like a 3 hour rant about the Beatles, but hey, let's have a Beatles stream at some point. But yeah, it's like people, maybe they start out covering songs and stuff, but because they are different, they come out with their own unique thing. It's like, what's it? I'm on a Sparks kick at the moment. It's like Russell Mael talking about how his whole thing was trying to copy Mick Jagger. It's absolutely trying to be the front man in that particular style, but doing it wrong because he's him. He ended up coming up with his own style. That is not the same as taking everything, stealing it. I don't know why I'm getting into this. Preaching to the choir, probably. But yeah, Shem Phillips and Sam McDonald. They would have to be right up there as well. Like with the trilogies just alone, they would be rivaling Stefan Feld potentially for number of games on my shelves at least. And I love the like. I've never really. Like, I think I've only played. Have I only ever played Shipwrights of the West Kingdom because of the Redux? But the North Sea trilogy, I think, is still a mystery to me. But at least apart from one of them, but the West Kingdom and South Tigris trilogies, love them. Yeah, that's what's ridiculous. Like the boil it down really with just gobbling off the top of my head, but like the thing, some of the things that are the most joyful, the most worth it in life, like whether it is music, whether it is films, whether it is board games, all of this has come from like creativity and often collaboration as well, especially for like board games. Even if it's just like a solo designer, it's like a huge amount of like the people refining it and doing production work, the artists, like the playtests and stuff. Loads of it is having an effect, and all of that coming together makes a lot of beautiful things. A lot of rubbish games as well, but only like rubbish for like a particular taste in it. There's probably people that love all of the games that we don't like, but turning that clinically into like, I can't tell, like I haven't clicked on one, but the idea now of just everything like the yeah the everything would be made easier, that like we could just be spending our time doing like creative pursuits. And like there's all that stuff in the past about, like, I know it's different in different countries, but like there's countries where now they really value the arts and pay people salaries to be authors and stuff. I think, is it Iceland? I saw a post about that the other day, that they've got like an arts thing, and I know that we used to in this country, and that's how like comedians in the 80s managed to live in London, and London was like not gentrified and stuff. That's the right word, I think. But yeah, they were getting money to be doing creative things, and that's how they were able to not have proper jobs and spend all of their time being artists or musicians or comedians. And that's how they came up with such a wave of stuff. But now everything is just squeezed out, and it's like not even getting into like misinformation and stuff, but oh, enjoy this AI band. Oh, won't it be great when we can just like there are no new like stars, or like uh, such a reduced number of like new talented people coming in, but it doesn't matter. We don't need to invest in new people because we can get the rights to reproduce all of old people's like music and stuff. Like it's it's so weird what everything is going to be like. Like it feels at the moment, especially with all of these companies just like kind of investing in each other and just being a weird Ouroboros of just inflated RAM prices and wasting of water and electricity, that it's some kind of crazy bubble where they all have to keep telling each other that all of it's the future, because at this point so much rides on it all being the future that what happens to all of this investment and like genius tech bros and their vision of the future, what happens to all of that if that bubble bursts? I got no idea. Basically, I shouldn't have started all of this. It's going to be a small stream instead of until I got on. I got on one about it, but yeah, maybe with enough training and enough theft of people's original things to train these machines, that you could end up with some kind of game design idea that is coherent enough that it eventually gets made into a game and gets hailed as this great thing. Maybe that's even happened, and that's the other thing is at the moment you rely on being told by these people, and a lot of people. It seems there's a geek list you can subscribe to on Board Game Geek that people add AI art games into to try and avoid them. But yeah, there's going to be bits where they don't admit to that being used in the games, and then what do you do? I think at the moment it's got a bit of a slop style, hasn't it? But what about when it's trained enough to get past that? What then? Like the experiences, like yeah, the mechanisms and stuff are important and like a vital part of the game, but it is all, and like there's designers that design by spreadsheet and stuff for balancing purposes and all that, and it can be clinical in that way, but it's still like at the end of the day a bunch of people, no matter how big or small the team is, coming together on a creative project and coming up with something. Like it's even for games that I haven't enjoyed, you've still like every now and then got to think about like for films, like even watching the worst films, maybe not so much for streaming things nowadays, but like they're such massive projects that involve such a massive amount of people. The fact that they ever got finished in the first place is a miracle. And like even with all of the crowdfunding things as well, like I've got such a lot of like I used to maybe in the very beginning, like 10 years or more ago of backing things on Kickstarter, being like, oh, I'm excited for this thing. I can't wait. When is it? When's it coming? When's it coming? But for years and years, I've just been like, oh, I don't care. Like I'm sure they're working their hardest at it. There's cases where that's demonstrably not true, but I don't think for anything that I've backed. I just think like I can't imagine all of the work that goes into all of that stuff. I'm just rambling about loads of stuff now though, but yeah, generative AI can get lost, especially if you're currently saying that it's better than people that make things for your company. But preaching to the choir with all of that stuff, right? Hallertau's great though, isn't it? Like I had that vague fuzzy feeling that let's keep it forever because I loved it so much. But yeah, it has been made vivid in my mind again, and Hallertau's amazing. I'm looking forward to playing again. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm sorry I subjected you to a big rant about rambling matters. It's got to come out somewhere, though, hasn't it? But yeah, AI bad. Don't trust people that try and propel honesty by being just negative all the time about everything. That's part of the thing as well. Like, try and do things that I think I'm gonna like. I am right about that. As the longer I go on about this, the more right I am. I can't be right just looking at every rulebook and thinking like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna love this. Still, get more honed about it, but I've got massive blind spots still as well. That like Rach and I hadn't played a game in person for like 9 months or something. And at the con we went to a couple of weeks ago, we played other things as well. And we played mostly co-op stuff, but I thought like, oh, from all of the stuff that I've done as Speakeasy, it's one of Vitel's most accessible. It's got such a good theme. It's my favorite thing of the last year. It's going to be so great. And towards it to Rach and made Rach play it. And if we'd have been playing it just at home and other people hadn't been involved at a con, we would have stopped playing that very quickly. Rach was not into Speakeasy. Sure, I've still got a massive blind spot of being like, no, I think Rach would. I've just kidding myself basically, but no, I think Rach would really like this. I'm sorry, Rach. I don't do that as much now though. I used to do that a lot. Rach has had to play over the years, especially in the earlier days. Rach has put up with a lot of games that, looking back at the end of that game, there was no way she was going to have any interest in playing that. But she did it though, and that's why a load of playthroughs ended up existing. Yes, I am definitely not AI. Don't know what kind of horrific prompt you'd have to put into one of them to get this kind of garbled mess. But hey, I can play Hallertau like nobody's business. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I will be back in pre-recorded form on Sunday with the next part of Kinfire Chronicles, Night's Fall. I think number 3 is going up public. Number 4 will be up on Patreon not long after that, probably Monday. And that's going to be the last one of those, at least for the time being. Maybe it'll come back in the future, but we can't do whole ones of campaigns. Not right now, anyway. Lucky that I'm managing to film anything and keep... I think a film thing and a live thing a week I seem to be managing at the moment, because most of my time I'm looking after a baby. Or she's looking after me, depending on how you see it, who is the more reliable of the two of us. But yeah, and then sponsored things sprinkled in when they happen, like the 2 flat out games that went up this week. See playthrough of Forage, an overview of Honeypot, because it's a game that, like, it's got a great solo and a great 2-player mode, but probably with more players is where it shines. So it's just an overview of that, where it shines the most. And yeah, so I will see you pre-recorded form for Kinfire. I will be live next week, probably on Thursday night again. What is the next thing in the vote? It might be a vote option. I think it might have been Slay the Spire, in which case, like, I don't know if I want to do that live, because the streams might end up just massive without all of the shuffling and stuff cut out. But I can't say. I was playing it a little bit at the weekend for the first time in ages, the video game. Slay the Spire, and it's so good. I can't wait for number 2. I'll tell you, there's a big tie of things with 7. Oh, Mansions of Madness with the by the new DLC that ties into the Drowned City. Like, Mansions of Madness got a new case after like what 5+ years of the game being. They never said it was finished, but basically we're not going to release another expansion for this, and a new scenario comes out for it. I still haven't played it yet. So maybe it'll be that. Maybe it'll be Slay the Spire. I might have to record Slay the Spire, which begs the question, when are you going to have time to do that? But I want to do more Slay the Spire. We unlocked, like, don't want to spoil things, but we unlocked a pretty important Ascension last time that we played it, and I haven't played it since. And I want to do the thing. I want to see Act 4. You know what I mean, right? If you played Slay the Spire, I want to see Act 4. Yeah, I still don't know how it works in the board game. So, yes, all of those things are happening. Thank you so much for being here. I should have mentioned it before like 2 hours into the stream, but you can support me on Patreon. You can do one-off donations on Ko-fi if you'd prefer. You can join as a YouTube member if you'd like. You get videos early, but most importantly, you help them happen. Patreon takes a smaller cut, and you can vote for the monthly playthrough votes on Patreon. But the options are there. Whatever you would like, whatever you can do. Keeps the channel going, and it's coming up to 10 years right now, so maybe it's a little birthday present to the channel. But thank you everyone for watching, for your support, for everything, and I've loved playing Hallertau. I will be back with something next week. Have lovely times and weekends and stuff until then, and yeah, I'll see you for some Kinfire on Sunday. Bye.